for the photo op.
We're not a photo op.
Why don't you and I, can we just brainstorm right now? I haven't put any thought into this, but let's just brainstorm our demands. If you are going to come to Michigan, we demand the following. All right. You want to go first, or either way?
Well, number one, you'd better drop that endorsement real damn quick.
Number one, where's the sound effects? I need sound effects in the show. Number one, you have to denounce the endorsement of killer Rick Snyder.
There we are. Number one.
That's number one. Okay. Number one. Number two. What's number two?
You best be backing off the not wanting Medicare for all, because the people in Flint have begged for it for years, and we deserve it because Libby, Montana got it when they got poisoned. Why don't we have it? How about you come with a peace offering, and that's a good start.
Okay. As a footnote to those listening and don't understand what Melissa and I are talking about, we are demanding, at the very least, and the rest of the country will kick this off for you and we'll get it for everybody. We're demanding that the federal government declare Medicare for all for everyone who has drank the water in the city of Flint. Or maybe they've left by now, but they're dealing with the poison issues.
Yes.
So we need the federal government to say we will cover all health bills for the children and the people of Flint, Michigan. And there's precedent for this. Explain to them the town in Montana.
Well, the water in Libby, Montana was poisoned by a mining operation, and it was declared a disaster. It was so bad. People were poisoned. They were sickened, and they actually were able to work it in to where they provided Medicare for all for life for all of the victims in Libby, Montana. So it has been done before, same kind of situation, except for it was a private mining. It wasn't the government that poisoned the people of Libby, Montana. It was a private company. So we got poisoned by the government. So there's no reason why this wouldn't even click even easier, since government poisoned us because, yes, the federal EPA left us out to dry.
Government poisoned the people of Flint. Government now must guarantee free health care for the rest of everybody's life in Flint.
Yes.
We'll start there, and then we want it for the rest of the country.
Absolutely. And another thing is that what they also need to do is make sure they can put some actual balls behind the Water Act, which provides grants for cities, native reservations, people all over the country, $35 billion a year to the EPA to be able to grant these cities, not give them loans because cities like ours can't handle any more debt, to replace all of the tainted infrastructure that's completely outdated that the Army Corps of Engineers and the American Association of Engineers said is a D+ at best. And so that's something that will make a change. What we are actually going to want to see in Flint, first of all, an apology is not enough. I mean, yeah, you need to do that. You need to drop that endorsement. Yeah. Say, okay, let's work out health care so you can stop suffering.
Number one, drop the endorsement. Number two, Medicare for all for people in Flint. What's number three?
6.5 years is far too damn long to be putting up with this because we have been civil. We have been nice. Right. We have done all the things they've told us to do. We went to the courts. We've gone through all these steps. We need these pipes ripped out of the ground, all of them, all the way up and through our house because you're right. All of our water heaters, our dishwashers, washing machines, our faucets have all been contaminated, corroded, and will continue to contaminate our water until they're gone. So let's do it for the whole country too with the Water Act. Push it through. Get behind it and actually stand behind it. And none of this, let me just say, none of this is just radical left. This is just basic human decency.
You don't apologize for it. If people get that, Joe Biden, when you come to Michigan next week, you are to announce that you're sending in the Army Corps of Engineers to tear up and replace all the pipes, not just the ones out in the middle of the street, all the pipes that feed into all the houses, and then all the piping that's in every house has to be removed, and then all the appliances from the dishwasher to the washing machine to whatever has to be replaced.
Yes.
It's all corroded, it's all poison, and you need to promise that you, unlike Obama and unlike Trump, you are going to fix this once and for all. The day after you are inaugurated, the earth-moving equipment is coming to Flint via the Army Corps of Engineers. That's number three.
That will get people's asses out to vote because for the first time since April of 2014, that means change. change for the better for
Real
Flint
change.
residents, for the innocent people, the residents here who trusted their government, who trusted that the right thing was being done by them and that this would be fixed once the world found out, because that's what I naively thought. Once the world found out that we were being poisoned, that the government was going to come in and do their jobs and fix what was broken, what they broke and what they allowed to be broken. And that includes the federal government. So that's going to make a huge change here. Then you'll be able to see people getting their asses out and there putting Biden signs in their yards, because that doesn't exist right now. So you want support, you want our vote, and you want votes from and confidence, and you want energy from the rest of the country. You have to undo what you just did. Fix what you just broke.
That's right. Right now.
Yes.
You don't have much time. You don't have much time, because just listen to us. We're the people who are going to make this happen. We and people like us in Michigan are going to make sure that Trump is removed. Why would you throw down this huge roadblock to us? Why would you crush us in our ability to try to convince people to get out and vote? Because remember, our biggest problem when we are talking to people about voting isn't trying to convince them that, oh, don't vote for Trump. They already are, don't worry, they already know that. Our problem is we are fighting the biggest obstacle, which is people have given up. People have given up. And when they give up, they stay home, they don't vote, they think the whole thing's a big sham, and you can't argue with them a whole lot on that when you see what it's done to them, to their family, to their home. And to have the candidate embrace this act of violence, this violent ex-governor who caused all of this pain and suffering, boy, they don't really give a shit, do they? And that's exactly what somebody living in Flint and in Michigan is thinking right now.
Absolutely.
And if you're personally affected by it, it's very hard to overcome that. Now, if you live in West Bloomfield, if you live in Ann Arbor, if you live in East Lansing, you live in the, Traverse City, you can say, well, what are you so upset about? Because your water will always be fine. They will never get away with poisoning your children. You who live in the white communities that have some money, it's, if you haven't lived the experience, I don't know what to say. Hopefully you'll just automatically have empathy, that you don't need to live the experience. You have enough empathy in you to care about those who've suffered in Flint. I've been so worried about what are these Democrats, what are they going to do to blow it? Even I don't know, did you have this? Of course, we're all so full of, the thing is, when you're a conspiracy theorist from Flint, you're actually a fact and truth teller, because you are the victim of an amazing conspiracy that they kept quiet for some time. But it almost looks like, if you just step back from it, let's say you were a Martian, you just landed here and you're trying to figure this out. It looks like Trump called Snyder and said, hey, you can help me in Michigan. Endorse Biden. That will so fry the brains of so many people that they will just give up and not vote at all. Right? Doesn't that sound, if we're writing a movie?
You're right, because I actually asked the question, did somebody from the Trump campaign infiltrate the Biden campaign? Because here's a good way to destroy it. I mean, it reminds me of, you talked about the 2016 debates between Bernie and Hillary here in Flint. I'll tell you, I had the same thoughts. Like, is she trying to lose the election? Because one of the questions was easy. Do you support fracking? It should have been a simple answer. Hillary gave this long, convoluted answer where it ended up talking about, well, when done safely, when done properly, it can be safe and also very profitable. While she's smack dab in the middle of a city that literally got poisoned for profit. I'm like, is she trying to lose? And then Bernie's answer was this: no. And that was it. I was like, yeah, all right. So I felt the same way. Like, is she literally just trying to lose? Is she trying to quit? It's like when she sent Bill to Flint and Detroit, I'm like, oh, NAFTA did a number. Why are you doing that? Why didn't you send Shareback or somebody else? Like, why did you do that? Are you trying to lose? That is exactly how this felt with Biden accepting Snyder's, support. I just was like, I guess he doesn't want to win. He alienated, conservatives who were considering, voting for him, who, can't stomach what Snyder did. He just said, big middle finger to all of Flint and the state of Michigan, who got damaged by Snyder's reign. And just, wow. Yeah. Are they trying to lose? Are they trying to ensure we get 4 more years of Trump? Because that's what's happening.
You have to ask yourself. I mean, obviously, oh man, I don't know. I hope somebody from the Biden campaign is listening. I hope you hear the level of anger, not just frustration, real anger, of people who are not now going to go out and work for you in Flint. And you risk losing the state as a result of that. And you can't afford to lose any one of these swing states at this point. And the race has tightened. Trump is only behind by 2 to 4 points in some of these states. Don't be fooled by, the people you like to listen to that tell you that everything's fine and Biden's way ahead. You need to look at the whole truth about what's going on right now. And I'm very worried. I'm very scared. What can we say, Melissa, to get it through their heads? Let's assume by now somebody is playing this for somebody in the campaign. And they're sitting there in Wilmington, Delaware, and they're like, oh, shit. Or maybe they're not going, oh, shit. Maybe they're going, fuck Mike and Melissa. They can just, actually, that sounds like a really good sitcom.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm serious. It's like maybe they don't give a shit about us. They certainly don't give a shit about black citizens of Flint or Detroit. That's so evident. They know the Democratic Party has always said they were on their side, but it's never really, really, really done anything about it. And, it's, what do we say here? I think they're probably thinking, oh yeah, and then, or what? If we don't do that, Mike, or what? Or what? You're going to go work for Trump? Yeah. So
that seems to be their easy go-to.
Yeah, well, they think they've got us. They think they've got us. And man, they don't know the dark side in people from Flint. We've been through enough. We've seen enough. And, I got lucky. I got to get out and make a movie or two. And then it was like, okay, well, you got lucky. You got out. So now what are you going to do? Because you can't forget what happened. You can't turn away. So I've had that in my head my whole career. But, I think they need to know that they will be denied power.
I mean, they also need to know that they do need us. Because let me tell you something. They're like, well, you have to vote. You have to vote for Biden because otherwise it's Trump. Hello. We already lived and have been surviving under the hell that your buddy Rick Snyder caused us. And so Trump's hell, it's the same. It literally has been the same. Nothing has changed for Flint. Nothing's gotten better. Nothing's, not actually gotten worse. We weren't surprised when the huge COVID failure happened. Everybody else was like, oh my God, there's this huge deadly pandemic and the government's not ready and there's nothing for the people and there's no healthcare, there's no PPE, there's no testing. Welcome to Flint, babes, because guess what? That's what we've had. That's what we've been dealing with for 6.5 years. So we're just sitting here like, yeah, so the fuck what? Right. We've already been living through it. So, yeah, you want to talk about 4 more years of Trump? Whatever, because guess what? It's no skin off our backs because you're the ones that are losing. The thing is we've got nothing in Flint. We've got nothing besides what we fight for as a people, as what we do for one another in our neighborhoods. And y'all haven't figured that out outside of Flint. We warned you and we told you this was going to happen. We weren't shocked when COVID failed and people died. And everybody's just horrified by this. Well, you can have 4 more years of horrified if this is how you're going to, tell Flint to go just fuck off and die. You can have 4 more years because guess what? We'll probably be the ones that survive at the end because we're so damn used to being shit on. So, if that's what you want to do and you don't think you need us and you want to say fuck you to, Melissa and Mike and the 100,000 people in Flint, and if you want to do that to the black vote, just tell them, yeah, throw in the garbage. We don't need you. Guess what? We don't need you because we're used to this hell. We're used to this nightmare. So if you really want to push us, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a whole bunch of people staying at home because what's the difference? If you're going to accept the guy who destroyed our lives and our homes into your campaign with open arms, well, what's the change for us? Except more of the same, because that is exactly what's happened. So you have to earn us. You have to earn our vote. You have to earn all the other poison communities' votes. How do you think they feel? All the other people dealing with the water shutoffs and the water contamination, the poisonings across the country that have not been addressed. How do you think they feel too? If you're going to hug the poisoner of Flint, well then what do you think they're thinking too? So don't just think it's just us, and don't think Flint doesn't have power and we don't have a mouth, because we do. And guess what? We've survived far worse than this. So if this is what you want to do and say, screw you, Flint, we don't need your vote, we're not going to fix what we just screwed up, good luck, buddy, because I guess you just don't want to win.
Wow. I want everybody to know what you just heard is straight from the heart. And this isn't rhetoric. She's not making some kind of campaign speech here. Melissa and the other mothers and the people in Flint, when they recover from this blow, you're going to be sorry that you messed with them.